What is going on, guys? Today I have a very special video for you. We are going to be talking about Warren Buffett and the stocks that he has purchased here in his last quarter. So every quarter, a lot of these top investors, large companies have to disclose what purchases they made, and that is what we're looking at for Warren Buffett here today. So he has a few companies that he's picked up that are really no surprise that he added to his positions, and then there's a couple that are, a little bit more of a surprise, and one of those we're going to get into here today more in depth and go over why that may be a good arbitrage position for you in your portfolio. He's talked about this stock in his annual meetings, and overall there's a lot of upside still to be had in the stock. So that's what we're going to go over here today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below, and if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. So why pay attention to Warren Buffett and what he is doing? So when we look at Berkshire's graph, we can get a good understanding of the moves that Warren Buffett has made and how they've impacted the business and the stock price of Berkshire. And what's really crazy is when you back out 5 years, you can see that Berkshire has gone up over 70% in the last 5 years. That equates to around a 13 to 15% return annually for the stock price. One of Warren Buffett's most recent adds to the portfolio is Occidental Petroleum. So Occidental Petroleum, he started adding a little over a year ago, and it is up over 150% over the last year, which is absolutely insane, an insane return. And he has added consistently along the way. And now he's added even more in this past quarter to his position. And you can see in here that even now the stock is around all the way up to $70, down to around 100 or to 55-ish, $56. So he is still adding to this position. And we see that he actually took his position from $9 billion up to $12 billion over the last quarter. Here we'll go through some of Warren Buffett's ads. So I mentioned Occidental Petroleum, so he added more to that position. Ally Financial, that's a very interesting one. So he does like to purchase a lot of banks. And Ally, it just kind of is weird in the sense that they do a lot of lending. So in my opinion, Ally, and with interest rates increasing, it's kind of a weird ad because a lot of people have already refinanced a lot of their homes, car mortgage or car loans, anything like that. So Ally, I wouldn't really expect a buy like this, but it's interesting to see Warren Buffett, buying into a stock like that. Apple, they're adding more. That's not really a huge surprise. So we can see from the chart here, right, as Apple dipped, they probably purchased more, throughout this dip. I doubt they're buying at the current stock price, but I did make a video a couple days ago talking about how I thought Apple was somewhat overvalued at its current price. Obviously, Warren Buffett might feel a little bit different. I am sure now that it's, back close to all-time highs, he's probably not adding more. He was probably, again, purchasing around, as the stock was dipping. But the other thing to consider that's not considered in that valuation video that I made is a lot of Apple share buybacks. So that's obviously going to increase the value of the stock as they remove shares from the float. But the stock that I am most interested in, and what really stands out to me, is he's adding more of Activision Blizzard. So this is a very interesting ad because, again, the company is planning to get purchased by Microsoft. And with that, this is basically an arbitrage play. He sees that you can buy the stock right now for around $80 to $81, and he's looking at the time horizon for when this deal is going to happen and saying there's still 15 to 20% left of good premium to be made by purchasing more shares of Activision Blizzard. And what we're getting at there is Microsoft has basically come out and said that that they are confident that the deal will close in the fiscal year ending in June 2023. So basically what Microsoft is saying is that they are expecting this deal to go through where they can purchase Activision Blizzard for $95 a share sometime in the next 10 months. So what you're looking at is basically in less than a year, you could make a 15 to 20% return on your money if you're purchasing around $80 a share. And again, this assumes obviously the deal won't go through, but the one thing that you need to consider and need to think about is who is Warren Buffett's closest friend? He is close and very, very close with Bill Gates. And the two have been known to hang out together and basically talk stocks. You can actually look at Bill Gates' portfolio, his stock portfolio, and his single largest holding is Berkshire Hathaway shares. Even with all that news, with Berkshire purchasing more shares of Activision Blizzard, Warren Buffett having a close connection with Bill Gates, we can also see plain and as day news articles published out there, such as these. So Call of Duty publisher Activision Blizzard accused of illegal surveillance on workers. Activision Blizzard accused of trying to stop workers communicating about pay and working conditions. So these two articles, if you remember, about a year ago, Activision Blizzard was being accused of having basically poor work conditions, harassment charges, everything like that, against a lot of their management team. So when that happened, the stock fell all the way down to around $60 to $55, somewhere in that range. And basically a few months after that, Microsoft came out and said that they were going to purchase Activision Blizzard. So it's clear that the management team at Activision Blizzard needs a complete overhaul. They have all these problems that are going on in the news that are very, out there for people to see. And Microsoft stepping in and taking over this company would only be a positive, because I'm sure what they would do is they would go in, they'd gut management, they'd put their own management in place, and, expectations and everything would change at the company. The whole culture of the company would change as Microsoft took over. So with that, this is just pointing more towards the deal going through, right? They have all these negative things, all these bad things still happening at the company, and Microsoft is the knight in shining armor that's going to come in and basically turn the whole business around, fix a lot of these issues, and basically make everything good and well at the company again. Here's the chart for Activision Blizzard, just to show you what I was just talking about. So the stock fell through the floor. It fell all the way down to just below $60. And that's when all that news came out about all the harassment, poor work conditions, everything going on. And then the stock recovered a little bit. And basically right after the deal was announced, that Microsoft was going to purchase Activision Blizzard, the stock shot up to around $82 and then kind of dipped a little bit, leveled off, and has kind of had, a few dips here or there, but nothing crazy. It's just sat around that $75 to, $80 range. And Warren Buffett did pick up some shares early on. So they actually purchased a few shares back early before the Microsoft deal. And then they started purchasing more significantly as the stock has kind of sat here at this $80 mark, because again, they see the potential of this deal going through. They see it as almost a sure thing, and they just keep adding more shares. So what we can see is the stock price right now is around $80. We're just going to round that up to $81 just to be conservative. So if we have an $81 stock price and Microsoft is going to purchase the shares for $95, that is a potential return of over 17%. And again, that's 17% in less than a year. This is a crazy return, right? When the S&P 500 is only returning around 8% and you can get 17% on almost a sure thing, then that is, a huge opportunity to take advantage of. And that's what Warren Buffett is seeing in this stock. Before I close out the video, I do want to end with the risks, right? Because if Warren Buffett is wrong and the deal does not go through, Warren Buffett will likely sell out of his shares, right? He's not going to, sit in the stock. He probably doesn't have a whole lot of belief in the management team there at Activision Blizzard, as a lot of people, don't have a whole lot of belief in. And really what would happen if the deal doesn't go through is we would see the stock crash, and crash even more significantly than we saw back when, things were going poorly, a little less than a year ago. So we would probably see the stock go under $50 would be my guess. Again, as Warren Buffett has around 9.5% of the company is what he owns currently. So that's one thing to consider, is that if this deal does not go through, the stock is going to plummet and you will want to get out of your shares as quick as possible. So there is risk just like any investment. But Warren Buffett, with all of his insider information, feels pretty confident about it. I personally am thinking about and strongly considering adding a small position back into Activision Blizzard. I did own some before the Microsoft deal actually was announced. And then when it was announced, it spiked up to 80 and then the market was dropping. So I saw better opportunities. So I sold out of my position and ended up buying into a few other stocks. And now I have a little bit of cash basically built up on the sideline. I think the markets ran up a little bit and I see there as, some potential here with Activision Blizzard, especially as we get closer and closer to the deal date, because once the deal, gets announced that it's, fully going through, then the stock's going to go all the way up to 95 and basically just sit at $95 a share until, everything's paid out. So overall, I personally do like the stock. I think the deal is going to go through. I don't see any reason for it not to go through. Again, that's just my opinion. Obviously, make your own decisions. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. And as always, have a wonderful rest of your day.